You speak English. This is an affirmative or positive sentence. How can we make this affirmative sentence a negative sentence? You speak English becomes you don't speak English. We do not say you speak English. This is not correct. We say you don't speak English. This is correct. We normally use don't or doesn't to make a negative sentence in the simple present tense. Let's look at the difference between don't and doesn't. We use don't when the subject is I, you, we, or they. We add don't between the subject and the verb. I speak English. The negative is I don't speak English. You speak Spanish. The negative is you don't speak Spanish. They speak Arabic. The negative is they don't speak Arabic. You see that don't makes the sentence negative when the subject is I, you, we, or they. So, with I, you, we, and they, we use don't and then the verb. But with third-person sentences using he, she, or it, we add doesn't between the subject and the verb to make it a negative sentence. He speaks Spanish. This becomes he doesn't speak Spanish. Notice how the letter S at the end of the verb in the affirmative sentence, because it is third person, the S disappears in the negative sentence. He doesn't speak. No S. Why does this happen? The verb after the negative don't or doesn't is the base form of the infinitive. Remember, the infinitive is the verb before it is changed. It is the original verb. For example, to go, to need, to speak, to live. These are all infinitives, which means that they are the original form of the verb before any changes. We know they are in the infinitive form because of the to at the beginning. But for negative sentences, we want the base form of the infinitive. This means the infinitive without to. Instead of to go, it is just go. Instead of to speak, it is just speak. So, he speaks Spanish becomes he doesn't speak. No S at the end of speak. He doesn't speak Spanish. Third-person verbs lose the final S in negative sentences. She speaks Italian. In the negative, it becomes she doesn't speak Italian. Again, you can see that speak does not have an S at the end because it is the base form of the infinitive. Let's see a couple more examples. Philip needs a dictionary. What is the negative of this? Philip doesn't need a dictionary. No S at the end of the verb need in the negative form. The dog wants a bone. We use wants because the dog is it. We use it for animals and things. It wants a bone. So, the dog wants a bone. What is the negative of this? The dog doesn't want a bone. No S at the end of the verb want. Let's look at some verbs that change a little more. The first one is the verb to have. I have a new bike. What is the negative of this? I don't have a new bike. The infinitive is to have, but we just need its base form, have. So there's no to. But let's look at the third person sentence. For example, with he. He has a new bike. What is the negative form of this sentence? He doesn't have a new bike. We never say he doesn't has a bike. No, this is not correct. Why do we use have in the negative and not has? Because the verb after don't and doesn't is the base form of the infinitive. The infinitive of has is to have. The base of the infinitive is have, without the to at the beginning. He doesn't have a new bike. Let's make negative sentences with the verb to go. To go is the infinitive. Its base form is just go. I go to the beach. Simple. What is the negative form of this? I don't go to the beach. Now, I want this sentence using Daniel instead of I. The affirmative sentence is Daniel goes to the beach. Goes is used with he, she, or it. Daniel is he. How can I change this to a negative sentence? Daniel doesn't go to the beach. Go, because it is the base form of the infinitive. So, let's have a quick look at what we have seen. We use don't and doesn't to make negative sentences in the simple present tense, except with the verb to be and modal verbs such as can, might, should, etc. And these we will see in another lesson. Be careful. We don't say, I know live in Japan. This is not correct. What do we say? We say, I don't live in Japan. This is correct. We say, she has a cat. We do not say, she doesn't has a cat. This is not correct. We need the base form of the infinitive, which is have and not has. The correct way is, she doesn't have a cat. Contractions. Don't is a contraction or a short way of saying do not. Doesn't is a contraction or a short way of saying does not. Let's see some examples. I don't speak Japanese is the same as I do not speak Japanese. He doesn't speak Korean. This is the same as he does not speak Korean. There's no difference in meaning, though we use contractions a lot in spoken English. Complete these sentences with don't or doesn't. Click pause to give yourself more time to complete this activity. The answers will appear in 5 seconds. We will begin. I live in a house. I don't live in an apartment. She doesn't like spiders. You don't need a dictionary. We don't have cake for breakfast. It doesn't rain much in summer. Susan is a vegetarian. She doesn't eat meat. Jack and Jill don't want to go up the hill. Mike lives in New Zealand. He doesn't live in Australia. I recommend you see our next video that has a lot more practice using don't and doesn't. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, remember to click the like button and subscribe to our channel so you know exactly when I create more videos to help you improve your English. Have an awesome day!